I'm a couple minutes late. This week has been crazy. I expected to have a bunch of shit done. I was gonna have the laptop set up. I had grand plans, but Father Time undefeated. Pretty much all week after. By the time I got home from work, I always got stuff to do. Oh, nice, nice. There we go. Hey, we're talking about getting old in the comments. Let me tell you something, boys, gentlemen. I see CG Horrors here. Pop Cult Crazy. Big Red. Fellas, I don't know. I know how old CG Horror is. I think that we're all close. I just turned 46. Yeah, I took a nap right before this. But all week, that's what it was. It was I came home from work, did my thing with the kids, and I put the kids to bed, and I was basically falling asleep like while they're trying to go to bed. So I had no real time. I mean, I literally did. If you look right here and around, it looks exactly like it does from when I was here last Saturday. I know, so don't worry, fellas. I don't think it's going to be a super long one tonight. I kind of just want to touch on some things, and I do want to show you something cool. I have been getting stuff from my boy Dice Man 3D Drops. Jeez, I did it again. Dice Man 3D Props over on Facebook. I'm going to set up a video with a link that's going to show this a little more, but I have gotten something cool. Just to kind of tease it quick, if you remember, I had gotten these 3 laptops from the gentleman, and then it's like a command console, so I am going to show that in a little bit. I'm pretty excited. I actually wanted to send a couple preview shots out to some of you guys. I've had no time for nothing. I jump on when I can. I try to get caught up real quick on stuff, and that's it. This week has been a blur. I mean, so it wasn't that I was tired. I felt under the weather. I can handle being tired. But when my body is saying, I can just feel it, and that was it. So I did my best. I've got a small mail call and just a few kind of things to talk about. So I come up with these ideas, these like lists or these little things that we can all kind of go back and forth. But until I get it, where I can see. So right now it looks like I'm seeing the comments. What happened last week was, our boy They Gone was here. He said like 5 quick comments, just like, oh, yep, I was asking questions and he was answering, and then boom, it just stopped, and then I saw no comments for like the rest of the stream. So I'll try to let's see what we can do, and hopefully this works, because that would be great, because I'm doing it on my phone. My laptop is something that I only use to literally just type out invoices and whatchamacallits. And then I was just using it for the 3D printer. So, and I'm not computer savvy, and I didn't even have time. I guarantee a CG Horror, boop, fix my problems like that right over the phone. But I didn't have time. Literally, just didn't have time. So I'm ill prepared. Not that I do a lot of prep anyway. I mostly just write down a couple ideas, like when things that pop into my head, like the doing shout outs. I always feel like I'm going to miss somebody, so I always try to jot everything down, just to have a rough idea. But anyways, back to, I come up with these lists, right? And what I was doing today was so I took a nap, but before I took a nap, I wrote down just a few things. But I want to jump right to, hold on one second here. Oh, one of the reasons I was just a couple minutes late, my daughters did a quick dance recital for me. They're very good at whatever the new song is of the day. They up and grabbed, made a whole new dance for it, and they were like, "Daddy, you have to, you have to, I have to watch us do it." And then they do. I don't know how they remember that. Like, my memory at this age, is not that awesome. Like, they make it up over the course of 15 minutes, and they're like, "Okay, Daddy, we're ready," and then they crank it out. They're 10. They're twins, 2 of them. A lot of times, first thing, if you're all thinking, you're like, "Oh my God, twins." It's very common when I tell people I have twins, they usually say something like, "Oh, geez, how is that? How much harder than having, one at a time is it?" And the truth is, I don't know. They're my only 2 kids, so to me, parenting was I had 2 of them at the same time, and to me, it's been awesome. I'm blessed in a lot of ways, so I'm very happy. But yeah, it was, sorry, all you had to wait a couple minutes. I was watching a dance recital. That was the rules. But yeah, so I had all these different kinds of lists. And the one thing I just want to talk about real quick was funny. When I did my top 10 list from last week, nobody mentioned that Snake Eyes wasn't on there. I didn't mention Snake Eyes. And I didn't think about it until afterwards. I was like, you know what? Nobody reached out and said anything, and unless there was comments that I just didn't see. But yeah, there was no Snake Eyes on there because Snake Eyes is above the list. He's, you know how in the classifieds they got him at a 0-0. He's not part of that. He's the best. We're not debating that, right? He's over here. He is the awards, the Snake annual Best Figure Snake Eyes Award. He's, you know, the only action figure that has two versions that when they went from he was an icon and then all of a sudden they were like, well, we're going to make it look different. That usually never works out. With Snake Eyes, yeah, no, he wound up being the most popular action figure of all time. And in my opinion, I'm sure we can go back and forth with some other stuff. But yeah, so I have all these lists, and I don't want to try to break into all of them because I feel like they would all be served. Like I could run through them real quick and just be like, oh, this list, that list, and then name them all off. But I feel like I could do a little bit of a better job, put a little more time into each one, and I think we would all enjoy it a little bit more. But one, speaking of lists, so this week, the other day, our boy Conrad Hauser, who always comes up and gets a good conversation going. He's got this, just like, you know, he'll ask kind of a question, and then the next thing you know, we're talking about it. It's great. And one thing he had brought up, and I thought it was interesting because I made a post. If you didn't see it, I made a post, and it was oh God, Tollbooth. Jesus, I can't even remember. I think it was Tollbooth. And I was just like, I got, you know, Village People vibes from this guy, 6 out of 10. And so yeah, you know, I don't know. I think G.I. Joe is great. I don't think any of them are that bad. And he was like, you know, since you're so positive about him, who do you consider like a 3 or below? And I did eventually respond in a text that day. And basically what it was none of them. I don't think any of them are a 3 or below. You know, of course, once you hit wherever it is in 92, I think in 92 there's like 10 good figures or something like that. And then after that, it's just none of it's really that good. But in that, you know, 82, 92 money area, honestly, the only ones that I think are on the lower end was Big Boa. Now I have Big Boa. I actually still have the Big Boa from when I was a kid. And what makes him not a 3, keeps him at a 4, is that helmet. The helmet is fucking awesome. Had a little hose, and I'm a sucker for a hose. So the helmet alone, boop, keeps him at a 3. But it's just that did bother me, is the impracticality of not having a shirt. Same thing with like Quick. Couldn't stand it. Don't want anything to do with it. But Quick was still a good figure. Whatever. I don't know what I'd have him. Raptor. I mean, the classified glow up is amazing. That's fucking really, really turbo. But you know, at the 3 3/4, the only reason it stays up there is because it's got those nice soft goods, and the card art was actually really cool. So it's boop, 4 out of 10. So I couldn't find one that I was like 3 out of 10. The one thing that I noticed that was when I was looking through the list of the visual list was that Fast Straw. He's got like the missiles and all that shit. I don't know what it is about the colors of his uniform, but it's incredibly off-putting. I don't know why. I look at it and I go, ugh, I don't want it. It's got all the makings, you know, these big extras and the uniforms, padding. It looks cool. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think it's that good. Oh, Battle Force. So even them, right? What I thought, speaking of card art, what I found is that the card art for Battle Force ruins it for me. So if you look at the card out, it is like the blast effects, but it's not red and yellow. It's like blue and something, and it looks like shit. So whatever it is that does it to me, it just makes me go, oh God, it's repulsive. But when you actually just look at the figures, and the secondaries were totally ass, like completely ass. But I definitely have when you look at the figures themselves, some of them they're pretty cool. I can't think of any of them off the top of my head. That was something I didn't really write that part down. But for real, I think that was pretty interesting. That when I dug into that Battle Force, because I always never liked it, but I was trying to go through to make this answer, you know, legitimate. And then I for real, I was like, you know what, the figures themselves are not bad, but the secondaries are ass, and this card art is terrible. 4 out of 10, all of them. But what I'm going to do now is so that list that we were talking about with Conrad Hauser, he and I had spoke offline, and there's a handful of people that I want to get on, but he kind of threw it out there he was like, we should talk about this list, and I said sure. So it looks like next Saturday I will be joined live by our boy Conrad Hauser to discuss what is in essence our reverse top 10. I think we're going to try to squeeze it in. We're going to quickly run through his top 10 of what he thinks is the all-time best. I want to do it for Classified too. Probably do that with somebody else. I know a couple of you I have spoke to about coming on, and it's kind of about, everybody's got to be available at the same time. So definitely CG Horror, I'd like to get on here. I know I talked with Stevie Z. He's got some interest too. If anybody has interest in doing it, I'm willing to talk to you about it and see, what we could do and how, because it's just, two people, like, we all talk on the Twitter streets, but in order for us to come here and do it, we have to kind of have a topic we thought about. I think that would be the best way, so we can drive it. I think it would be great. So we will all talk about that. Looking forward. Yeah, I really look forward to getting CG Horror on here. I think that would be great. We have a very similar, well, we all have a similar love for Joe, but when we talk about, certain characters and everything, I think that we kind of sort of, yeah. So like one of the other lists that I want to talk about too is the best classified glow up. Now, the problem is that I think I haven't spent enough time looking at it. The problem is that I think they're all awesome. So it's really hard for me to say, these ones look that much better than the other. But right off the bat, I'm just going to throw a couple names out there in no particular order. Everybody's kind of heard me say that my favorite glow up was Scrap Iron. You look at the Classified Scrap Iron; it's amazing. I also really, really loved the original. I think that helps. If you really love the original, it's going to really help you loving the new one. That said, I think what makes it super high on the list is Tripwire, because Tripwire is a fine character, right? If character and figure, and when you look at the OG figure, it's cool, right? He was like one of the first ones that didn't have a gun, right? That just had some kind of weird extra. But when you look at what Hasbro has done with the classified version, holy fuck, it's actually super dope. I got two of them, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I want to make it so it looks like there's a team there. It's Tripwire and his assistant or something. I'm actually gonna do the same thing with Doc. I'm gonna get a second Doc. I'm gonna dye one or something, and then they're gonna be like a pair. So we gotta have somebody on the other end of the fucking stretcher. And what was the other one? Oh, and Barbecue. I think I'm gonna do something because I've got the Mad Marauders and then the OG, and if I kind of do something that put them together. So I had talked about sub teams. Anti-Venom is going to be, which will be the two Tripwires will be scanning the area, making sure that there's no other ordnance, and then you have the firefighters putting out some fires, and then you have the medics tending to people. So you can make quite an after scene of something like that, where you have Anti-Venom. I think that's who the task force is going to be. So I'd say, oh shit, I know I don't have time to do all of it, but it's hey, a dude can dream. Now I thought about this as I was just kind of glancing over the best glow up list. Is the number 30 Snake Eyes, the Alpha Commando, the one I rave about all the time. I don't think that was just they just made that Snake Eyes sort of kind of so it's not necessarily a glow up, but I just think it's so unbelievably awesome that I just had to mention it for that. Major Blood, I think Major Blood looks amazing. I took mine out of the package last week, kind of looked at it. Really, 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 really awesome. I fucking love both of them, honestly. The original one that just had the muted, the original Classified, the Cobra Island one, looks very much like the original in that he's all brown uniform with just the black vest and his arm is black. I love that one. I think it looks really cool. But I'm happy they made the new one because I talked about how I'm going to be doing a shoot with that. Yes. This week in Hearthstone, Dial Tone got to glow up. I agree. I do not have that in hand yet, but I have a feeling that I will be saying that too. Hold on, let me see if I go back here. Fast draw. Yeah, you ain't lying there. All right, so this is going to be. It's just cool that I can see the. Hey, there he is, Roadblock. He's in the club. He's too old too. Yeah, brother, you ain't fucking lying. So that's why I think this time is going to change. I'm thinking about. I didn't want to do Sunday nights because everybody's got to go to work the next day. But I might be lowering the time for us East Coasters because I'm on the East Coast. I start at 9 o'clock. I think it's asking you guys a lot to sip. If one of my friends called me and said, "Hey, do you want to come over at 9 o'clock?" I would be like, "Are you out of your fucking mind? You come over there at 9 o'clock?" And that is in essence what I mean. I know you can just be sitting at home chilling and watching it, but it's kind of a commitment. So I will be tweaking this time. I think it would be a little better. Only thing I'm worried about is my kids going bananas upstairs, especially if they know I'm live on YouTube. My kids aren't on the internet whatsoever, but they know what YouTube is, so they think it's like they think I'm like in front of a ton of people. It's hilarious. You should see them on the nights when they're going to bed. Like, you're going live? And I'm like, yeah, I've some people watch. It's not like it's a ton of people. I love the amount. Anybody is fine, but yeah, it's hilarious. They think I'm like on national television or something. Absolutely hilarious. All right, so to kind of go over again, which starts off just my best glow up list I've had. Scrap Iron Tripwire. I mentioned the Alpha Commando, which is totally fucking awesome. Major Blood, again, love both of those. The new leader of the His Fire team, and the Techno Viper. I always thought that the original Techno Viper was cool, but it was purple. So like as a kid, as a boy, you're like, I don't want this fucking purple thing. But it did look cool. Like the helmet, it's got that Battlestar Galactica look to them. And even though I wasn't into those toys, like they existed, so it was like, oh, look at that, look how cool that is. But the classified version is amazing. I think that was one of the early ones that I had gotten because it was on sale way back then. I think it was like $15. So it was originally I bought the Alley Viper and Destro, and then I was like, I don't want to spend too much, and like Tomax and Zaymot were on sale, whatever. And so yeah, I had grabbed one of those, the Techno Viper, and when I got it, I was like, whoa, holy shit! That is one of the figures that actually brought my appreciation up a notch for the classified line because it exploded out of the package, and like literally, I just, like like the movies where the light is coming up and it's illuminating my face, and I'm like, holy fuck, that Techno Viper was one of those because it just looks awesome. I don't even care that it's purple anymore. I can give a shit. And Night Force Falcon. I know there's more. I don't want to add to this list or whatever, but I'm just throwing it down here. Night Force Falcon. He got his own classified glow up because if he the first Falcon came out and then they made the Night Force one, and that Night Force one is fucking amazing. That is a really dope figure. That pack with him and Quarrel, I think it was Quarrel. There's so much extras in there. I think they both look great. They both beefy uniforms, lots of shit. Really, really, really cool. I'm trying to see if I can catch up in the Tiger Force Bazooka. Okay. I don't know how I feel about Bazooka. He always had this little dinky missile launcher, which I always thought was weird, and he had that jersey on. I'm a huge football guy. I played 9 years, but it looks weird. I don't know what it is. I'm not a huge fan. I did buy a bunch of Bazooka extras because his rocket launcher is cool in his backpack. I just got off of Ryan Barnhill. Can't remember what his ad is, but Ryan Barnhill, he was a tank gunner, or he's in a tank division, something like that in the military. He got rid of 4 Alley Vipers, Sans backpack and rifles. So I get the Alley Viper, the shield, the knives, and the pistol. So what I did is I found on eBay there was a guy selling 3 Bazooka setups. So I'm going to dye those in navy blue, spray paint a little orange like on the tips of the missiles or something, and they're going to be heavy because now I have a lot of Alley Vipers. I might be reaching sort of a limit on those. I bought quite a few. Same thing, I have this. I bought that lot of 15. If anybody that's here doesn't know, I'll say it quickly. There's a local G.I. Joe guy who I've become friends with. Homeboy bought a little too much. He was getting rid of stuff. One of the best deals I got is he gave me 15 complete Alley Vipers at, I think it was $10 a piece, something like that. So I definitely bought them, but I already had 10 of them, and then my boy CG Horror sent me one, so now I have 26 of those, which I didn't realize how that was going to feel. And what I mean by that is I've bought a lot of stuff, and I've not paid too much attention to what the cost was. But when I look at that pile, I'm kind of like, even though I didn't buy them all at $25 a piece or anything like that, I'm still like, yeah, that's crazy person stuff. So, but it's going to look awesome when I take those photos. There's no doubt about that. So again, there was so much different stuff that I wanted to do this week, but I just didn't have the time to make sure that it all happened. So I'm kind of like looking back over there, but I'm going to get to some more stuff. And yeah, so Night Force Falcon is going to wrap up that list there of the best glow-ups for the classifieds. There was another list, and I know everybody has, I think other people have almost certainly done it, like what is the most wanted classified that we haven't got yet? Like what are the ones that you would like to see? I'm not going to get into that list, I don't think, because it's I have a few, and then I started with it, and it went from like 6 to where I had like 20 of them. So I'd have to find a way to kind of parse through that before I'm literally just like saying names beyond belief. But yeah, so I kind of jumped away from it real quick. Next week, Conrad Hauser is going to join me to talk about. We talked loosely, and it's going to happen, but I think we're just going to kind of go over, see what his top 10 list is. I think that would be cool if I, as like a running thing, if I had all the guests that came on, it's, hey, you got to give me your top 10. Even if it's like mine, where it wasn't a top 10, it was like a top 18, where I had ties for certain levels. But yeah, even if it's like that. Let me just tell a quick story real quick. I was talking to our number one Cobra Commander fan the other day, and something just kind of hit my mind. Kind of think, I have this insane love for dioramas. I always kind of liked them, but it was, I think it comes from something particular when I was a kid, that it just kind of popped into my head. So like when I look at G.I. Joes and card art and that fucking, I always call it like a hit or crack, whatever that is that just bang hits your head, that chemical starts flowing in your brain, and you're like, yo, look at this fucking thing, whatever that is. I think the first time that I remember having that was from a diorama. Now, when I was, 6, 7, 8, something like that, there was this restaurant in my hometown called Casey's East, and it was a very popular spot. I think like a lot of families went there weekly and stuff like that, and I had been there a few times. And like when you first walked into this place, there was on the left-hand side this huge diorama. Now, it's hard to think back and think, I remember it looked huge. Now as an adult, it was probably about, 5 feet long, maybe like 3 feet high, something along those lines, just, maybe a couple feet deep. But it was an insanely detailed diorama of a street. And by that I mean on the bottom there was a literal fucking sidewalk, a road, a sidewalk, had cars on it, and then it was like 5 or 6 brownstone buildings. There was like a hobo leaning on a pole. And the detail, it was the detail. I vividly remember this, like without question. I could draw it for the most part. Obviously, I don't remember what the brick, that kind of detail, but I remember the 5 houses. I remember the hobo on the pole. There was, I think, 2 or 3 cars like parked on the thing, but it showed a lot of sidewalks still. And every time we went there, I remember that's where it started. That fucking zing, whatever it is that tweaks your brain when you see something that hits like that. And but that was just, it was something that was just talking about dioramas, and that popped into my head, and I was like, oh yeah, that was like the coolest thing I had ever seen. Every time we went to that restaurant, I remember I'd stare at it as soon as we walked in the door, and then I'd have to go and sit down, to order. But as soon as we ordered, bang, I was right back there just staring at this thing. I think there was a button that when you push the button, the light that the light at the top of the pole that the hobo was leaning on used to light up. So it was just a super cool thing. And now when I think of dioramas and the stuff that I'd like to, the level, I mean, I'll never have the time to make something as detailed as that. But either way, it was just something that popped in my head. I figured I'd share it. Yeah, that pretty nifty. Was also something. You know what? I'm just gonna go right into a few shout outs. If you can see it back here, as usual, our signage is up. CG Horror made this incredibly dope thing. If you're here for the first time and didn't see it, yeah, he made this. I mean, look at how fucking awesome that is. Every time I come down here, it's the first thing I see. That gold jumps right out at me, and I'm like, whoa. The second thing I see is the Hiss tank always, but the first thing I see is this. Definitely, look at how shiny that is. Thank you again, brother. I love it. I wish I could find a way to wear it like the Flavor Flav wears that clock. I put a chain on that thing and just wear it on my fucking chest. So yeah, thank you again, brother, and also for always the continued support. You're the best. I'm happy things are going well for you, and yeah, thank you again, and thank you for being here. I know you've had a long week too. We talked about it. But he's in a new career, and that shit is exhausting. So I appreciate you being here. It's definitely. I will be switching this time, without a doubt. Pop Cold Frenzy, my dude is. I don't know if you. I'm sure you saw it. Our finger count is up to, was it 37 and 38? 37 and 38. I got two of the. Oh wow, I'm gonna sound like a crazy person. I think they were Indiana Jones figures. Is that what they were? But they were that 6-inch guy. He had some crazy webbing and a nice backpack. I think what your post said was, Jesus, even the extras on here are alone worth it, and I agree. So now I've got, I think I've got three of the. No, I've got the old. I got the drunk shipwreck, Indiana Jones guy. I got the guy that's got the big hat with the glasses and the bag. I got him. And then some other fodder that I picked up. There was some Star Wars guy that had what looked like a jean jacket on, or like a brown colored jean jacket looking thing with some like regular pants, and he looked very civilianish. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I know having like 5-6 figures of that look like non-military people will come in handy at some point. So when I see shit like that, I try to grab it and be like, oh, that's cheap. So I was at Ollie's today. I can't show them because I'm giving them away as gifts. They weren't like the like the jumpers of the 60th anniversary. It was a very oddball GI Joe thing that's in standalone, not that cool. There's no articulation, but they're just a nifty thing to have, and that I'd like to, when in these some of these care packages I'm sending out, I was like, oh, at that price, this is perfect. I'm gonna get these to put in. But yeah, when I was at Ollie's today, they had a couple of civilian style guys, but they were like still $12 a piece, and they definitely look like something I think I'll see on Amazon at some point for cheaper than that. One of them was WandaVision, Jimmy something. He looked like he had a badge with like a regular jacket and some slacks. It looked like a relatively cheap, inexpensive thing. I should say that. So, but I passed on it because it was still above $10. You know, if it was maybe 8, I might have bit, but I did not. But yeah, so brother, thank you for all your constant support. And honestly, like, I don't know how much time you put into making us aware of all the deals that are out there, but it has to be significant. So Pop Coat Frenzy, we really appreciate. I appreciate you doing it all the time. It makes for good viewing in the timeline, and yeah, it's fucking awesome. Oh, and speaking of daily stuff, CG Horror is always doing the daily. He's got all of the great G.I. Joe pictures. Again, it was one of the first things that kind of brought me into this area, was I kept seeing all these awesome pictures. And like a couple days this week, he had a run of female stuff, like a female eel and a female this and a female that. Really, really awesome. That makes me happy. I thought they were super cool. I had never seen, I a lot of the times the pictures that you show on there are pictures that I've never seen before. So I think that's totally awesome, and that is also something I know that takes a little bit of time to kind of find and do that stuff. Mo, I got a new shirt coming from our boy Stevie Z. If you have not checked out his store on TeePublic, it is pretty awesome. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. I think it's like 20 different shirts. More than half of them, I think, are G.I. Joe. The others are just some cool stuff. But the G.I. Joe ones he has are awesome. So the first one I got was the Vipers Strike First, Die Last. That shirt is awesome. That's like one of my favorite G.I. Joe shirts. And it's like a quality shirt. It's not junk. It's actually really, really nifty. It's a really, definitely dope shirt. But the one that I just got, I don't know how I missed it the first time. I actually messaged him. I was like, hey, brother, get that up on the list. It's... one of the cool things about TeePublic is you can pick all the different colors for the shirt. It's like really, to like customize it. It's like you get exactly what you want. So like I could get multiple colors of what I got. So what I got was the Hiss blueprints. Like obviously the one side laid out. I got it in this like maroon that's kind of like this. Like, you know how you can see there's like a true Cobra red that's more of like a fire engine type deal. This one is a straight up maroon one. Really, really awesome. With the white lettering, obviously, and looks really cool. There was honestly 4 or 5 colors that I would have been happy with getting. The maroon was definitely my favorite though. That stuck out a lot. But like the black one, that looked great. I love black. That looked awesome. There was multiple other colors. So and it was like $16. I mean, I don't know, for t-shirts today. There's a lot of like, you go to I'm never going to remember the name, but it's like 80s Tees or something. It was a place online that, for the most part, I saw. It was the only place online that I ever saw that had like G.I. Joe shirts and stuff. But they're like $30 for t-shirts that were sort of okay quality, like not too bad, but definitely not anything like really awesome. But yeah, go support our brother Stevie Z. He's a great dude. I talk to him often. He really is an incredible tinkerer and maker. Um, he's of vision. He sees it. He makes it. There's a lot like he just got a 3D printer, so it's over for everybody. He's gonna like if you that beachhead shot, right? If you haven't seen, you could probably go to Stevie Z's media and see like the pictures of it. Hopefully, he should have that pinned. There's it consisted of like 4 or 5 shots, but it was an insane alleyway with a fence and a dumpster, and it was like definitely beachhead hiding in the dumpster, beside the dumpster, and Cobra was behind unloading like into a Connex box. I think I've talked about this probably every podcast. It's one of the coolest things I'd seen. That's the shit. Like when I think about that Dio as a kid, that's the kind of thing with like the level of detail that was in there. I mean, we're talking every little bit of it was awesome. So yeah, he's great. Yeah, go support our dude. Get yourself a T-shirt. I mean, it's like you're not. I don't know where else you can get. Well, maybe on TeePublic there's some other makers that do GI Joe stuff that is the same. I bet because that the cost is all pretty relevant. But go support our dude. Check it out. Speaking of T-shirts, I also got one. The young lady Pandora had gotten it, the Right of Might, which is the Salvo shirt. I considered trying to make one myself. There was there's the Cricut that we have can put stuff on it. You can cut a iron on kind of thing, but you know, who knows how long that lasts or whatever. But thank God they're now making one, so I can get one for a very little bit amount of money. So that's pretty cool. I have that on the way, but the one from Stevie Z, I'm pretty stoked about that. Somebody else that's been popping up all over the place with a couple new videos, our boy Roblox. Happy to have you around. You've been definitely pumping out some pretty cool stuff. That Tiger Force pictures are awesome. I love how you incorporate the sound. There was the one video there where it was lead in was the Tiger Force song from the commercial, which I thought was super cool. I hadn't heard that forever. And then it was, you know, like a G.I. Joe clip or a G.I. Joe music or whatever when you were showing the figures. But the super cool thing was the other day, the Firefly Sicario mashup. That was pretty cool. It was a really cool picture. You had the Sicario music over it and everything. That was really cool. I appreciated that. Let me just check in here. I'm trying to kind of keep up with I'm just here to hype up Psych Out. Yeah, no doubt. What's up, brother? Yeah, Psych Out is awesome. Psych Out is awesome. I had him as a kid. He made the top 10 list. I still have the figure, actually, my OG figure, which is nice. I have none of the extras, though. Let's see. Oh, yeah. She's your Night Viper. You ain't fucking lying. That is gonna be pretty awesome. Did we see a render yet? Did we see one of those? I can't remember. I think we only heard we got name only on that, right? I'm not positive. I'll have to. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Man, son of a bitch. I can't remember if we saw the render or not. But either way, Night Vipers were awesome. You want to know something fucking crazy? Is that I didn't know about Night Vipers. I think they had been out for like a while until I actually knew that they existed for some reason, because I stopped watching the cartoon, and that was one of the ones that came out in DIC. So a lot of those figures, like if I didn't happen to see them in the mall when I went there, or the KB Toys or whatever, then I didn't know they existed. Like I'm pretty sure I was still into GI Joe when all the Night Force stuff came out. Like I remember Tiger Force, I definitely remember that, but when Night Force came out, I don't remember that. I didn't know about it until like once when I started collecting classifieds, I saw that they had a Night Force, and I sort of recognized the emblem, and I was like, oh, what the hell is that? That looks familiar. And then I was like, oh, this is a thing that they made up for the classifieds. No, then I was boop boop boop. I looked, and there it was. They made them before. I did not know that until just now, which I know sounds crazy, but it was a hard out, man. When that shit was over, it was over. I had moved on. But yeah, so thank you so much. Another one of our other brothers, Big Red made that move this week, cross country move. Holy shit! We're all old now. That's that's a long haul to do. That's not easy, you know, getting a new job, doing all that kind of stuff. So good for you, brother. Way to get it done. I know you're there. I hope it's all still continuing to go well. And I know we're all wishing you the best. Thank you so much for your continued support. I'll always have to shout you out without a doubt. But yeah, dude, I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you made it. I know it's been a thing. You had mentioned a few times that you know, the move was coming up and you weren't exactly looking forward to doing it. So you know, if yeah, I just wanted to wish you well, and I'm glad it's going good. Somebody that's always cooking, or Just Some Jerk. I think I saw that you were in here. But yeah, Just Some Jerk. Really awesome. Always fucking with shit. Like every day there's some kind of a mashup going on. I think that's awesome. That's truly playing with the toys. That's really, you know, the toy photography is great and everything, but I feel like Homeboy that is just pop, moving all these parts and everything like that, and creating some cool stuff. Like on the fly the other day, I think you made a Lady Viper, right? Wasn't it? You just were like, oh, this person's got the body, this person's got the this, and you had the stuff, so you kind of threw it together. You had that nice tinfoil mask, but it all worked. There it was. We could tell what it was. And then I think at the end you switched the to the Viper on it. I thought that was really sweet. So absolutely. I'm gonna have to actually step off camera for a second. I see that there is somebody over there knocking at my door, and I have to, before it wakes up everybody upstairs. Just give me 2 seconds. Sorry, y'all. Thanks. Yeah, no, just as I was walking up to the window, they were walking away and waving. They were at the wrong door. Jesus Christ. It's a little late for that. So yeah, Big Red. Congratulations. I'm glad you're there. We moved on from that. Just Some Jerk. Always messing with stuff. I love seeing what you're doing all the time. It's inspiring. And it gives me, I wish I had, there's so much stuff that I'm trying to do, right? And I wish I had time to sit down and fuck around with those things. But it's like when I do come down here, I've got dios that I have in mind, like something like customizing like that is a little bit, you know, I took like a vest off somebody one day and put it on, and I felt like I was unlocking the Rosetta Stone. It was pretty awesome. My boy Dan Salsato, I hope I'm saying your name right. He has hooked me up. I got 2 figures. So first it started with a crystal ball. I got nice crystal ball from him. I'm thinking about opening this up here, but we'll see what happens. I want to show that other stuff first. And again, I don't want to keep everybody super late tonight. But yeah, so crystal ball. I originally passed. This was the first thing that went up for pre-order when I started collecting classifieds. So I don't remember. Maybe there was one. I'm sure something had happened, but I wasn't online. I didn't know about it yet. Was just buying figures from Amazon. I wasn't dialed in, so I didn't know. Once I had started following everybody and I understood, oh, pre-orders, these just don't show up in the stores, that's when I started dialing in. And this was the first one that went out for pre-order. And I remember looking at it and thinking, I mean, I didn't really like them then, is okay. But I don't think I want them now. But after having gotten a bunch of different classifieds and seeing how awesome they look, I was like, I bet that looks good. I didn't want it then because I didn't know, but I bet it looks good. So I kind of changed my mind by then. But then when I saw the render reveal of the Ghost Viper, when I saw that they were gonna have, he's gonna like his own fucking army, I was like, huh. Now I am definitely way more into the like realistic military style, right? Beachhead, Shockwave. Alley Viper's not entirely realistic, but you get the point. That's where it's at for me. But when I saw the Ghost Viper, I think it looks awesome. It's just a nice little green. I also have good. I can make good green mist and smoke, and there's a bunch of backgrounds that I can make. So yeah, this is a serious upgrade from the original. Big Red, you ain't lying. Vincent Price, nice. I like it. So yeah, holy shit, that's dope shout. So yeah. Dan, my boy Dan Salsato, he had got one of these. He put it out in the post, boom, had it. He sent it to me like that day. It like went out that day, so I had it super soon. But yeah, it looks the figure itself looks really cool. The extras actually look really cool, especially like the glow in the dark. And then yeah, a couple Ghost Vipers and stuff, and then you can make some kind of a. Now we're really talking. We've got something pretty cool. Ooh, ooh, CG Horror. That's a shout. When I look at him in the face, when I look at that sculpt, yep, I'm with you on that. Absolutely, the eyes, the set, nice. That's a good call. I couldn't agree more. God, I'm glad the comments are working. This is awesome. So anyway, kind of looking, keeping. I got this at the same day. Oh, so Dan, thank you. I also Dan had put it out there. He had got an extra breaker. It was an international breaker. He got it from Europe, England, somewhere over there. And it was an extra one. He had put it out, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I have a feeling that because I do have another. I have two. I have the one I opened and I kept the sealed one. I'm gonna probably keep a sealed one. I don't know why. It's something about everybody having a hard time getting it made it seem like it was rare, even though it's probably not. So I had gotten a second one. As the first time I found a G.I. Joe Classified in the wild was that day when I found that breaker. I was like, that was some shit. But I have a feeling that one of them might wind up as a gift or something like that because it is a cool ass figure. But one place, and I almost don't want to tell anybody about it, but I think I did last week anyway. Poshmark. Poshmark is it's a place where I was buying all my yes, I did say this last week, but yes. So go Poshmark, search under all, just put in G.I. Joe. I found a bunch of shirts there. I found all kinds of stuff, and then I scored this. I wasn't gonna buy this. I was kind of like, it looks cool. Again, another figure with a helmet that saves the day. This uniform, I guess, isn't as bad as Big Bo is, but he's got a pretty dope helmet too. And Fiona looks great. So I think I paid $20 for it, and the shipping was $8. So $28. I was like, you know what? That's a score. I love it. That's my little mail call, right? I don't think I had gotten any of this other stuff. Oh, with the exception of, all right, you know what? I think, let me see. Yes. Oh, it's just something I noticed real quick that we do have a couple in our nice little group. We have a couple young kids. Yeah, Crocmaster, brother. It's pretty dope, right? This whip is nice. I like how he's got this extra. So now I have the one that came with the polar bear, but I got this one too, so I can set up like a multi-trap thing. The one thing that I like is I now have I have 4 timbers. So I can do 4 timbers and a polar bear. I have a fucking National Geographic Arctic shoot going on. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm sure once we all get our snow cats, it's going to be, snow time. So, you know what? I'm going to throw this out there, something real quick. Yeah, I had this idea the other day, and I don't, I might be way off because I don't know any of this stuff as much as like our boy Jeremy Kimberlin does, and I'll shout him in a hot second. But maybe now, I think Snow Serpents are one of the most iconic winter figures that they have for the line. Right now, you can pick those up for like $24 off of Amazon. Now I know that the extras aren't great. It doesn't even come with an AK. Don't get me started. But yeah, exactly. Wild Kingdom coming at you. So yeah, the Snow Serpents are $24, and they're an amazing winter figure. Now, of course, we're gonna get a bunch of Joes that are gonna come out in the Arctic gear. We're getting Iceberg. Hopefully, we get Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is great. Again, shout out Jeremy. But for $24, you can get a Snow Serpent. Every couple weeks, I just buy like another one because I want to have a bunch of them. And I'll wind up in one of the days that the next time that Gridiron has some kind of AK on sale, I'll just buy fucking 8 of them, and then I'll sign those with the one. So I think right now I have, and I'm talking about the retro Snow Serpent, obviously. I have one that's going to stay sealed, and then I have 3 other ones, and then I'll just pick up a couple more, and that way when the Snowcat comes, you're ready for it, because I feel like once we get to, the beginning of next year, the Rattler came out, or Rattler News started, whatever time it was, earlier than normal. They're expected in the fall, but Rattler News came out at a certain time this year. So, Weekend Hearthstone, thank you. I'd love to. Most of it is all still in the box. Unfortunately, I've only taken the ones out as I do the shoots. And as you see, I have bags back here. So I'm redoing my basement. Once I have to move all this to the other side while I put the flooring and do a bunch of shit over here. And then once that's done, I can then actually build something. It's gonna be the middle, and it's gonna be like this, and it's gonna be all the shelves. Joe's on one side, Cobra on the other, sort of, kind of, type of thing. And then you'll be able to see it all. But thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Yeah, the comments are rough. I just got totally derailed, and I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. Yes, I have to pay attention to that. Oh yeah, the snow serpent. So, you know, you can get them now when a snowcat comes out and a fever pitch happens in the spring of next year, and people are like, oh, it was this time that we started getting a notification for the rattler. The snowcat must be coming. Anything that's available out there, it's going to start to be bought up. Again, I might be wrong. Maybe there's a fucking 1,000 of them snow serpents out there, and it's not going to be an issue. I'm not sure. I just know I figure I got a year that every couple, you know, maybe even if it's, even now, every other month between now and next year, you could have a dozen of them by, you know, or every month you'd buy one and you'd have a dozen of them. So I don't think I'm gonna buy that many, but that's the idea. I don't know, maybe you want to grab a few yourself. Yeah, so let's see. I think I'm gonna get to setting this up. I think the lighting's gonna be good. So yeah, I'm gonna move on real quick. So to my boy Dice Man 3D props. I don't know why I have a hardest time saying that, and I have the hardest time saying Mo's Mind Creations. There, I did it. I'm proud of myself for that. I don't know what it is. It's like I can't get it out. So our dude here has got some really dope shit. Again, unfortunately, I was doing the dance thing with the kids. I didn't have time to set this up, so you're gonna watch me kind of put it together as we go. Yes, exactly, country gentleman. You know it, brother. Just kind of, hey, you see something in there, grab that motherfucker. Oh, hey, there he is. All right, Andrew. Andrew's in the house. Well, Andrew, get ready, because I'm about to bust out your shit, which is totally awesome. It was a great package, and I love it. It's really sweet. So I didn't assign the, I didn't assign any of the screens yet to these. Here, let's go down here. Hopefully there. The light is kind of sort of right away, but I think we're going to be able to get it. Let me see. If I have another light here. I don't know if this is going to help, but it may. Yep. Hold on. Yeah, as you can see, I'm so super prepared. All right, there we go. That's better. Just a little extra light there. This must be super comical to you guys. All right, so first things first. I had gotten all 3 of these. This is super awesome. I love this design on this one here in the middle. It is definitely the Cadillac, if you will. Used as a drone operating laptop with those handles right there. Ooh, let me get you in the middle of the screen. So there we got the handles. You could be controlling a drone. I'm going to have a Cobra Trooper, one of the blue fuckers right behind here, driving a what do you call it? One of the Gridiron drones. Pretty dope. He's going to be moving one of those around. Let's see. This one here, this is like, oh, the launch codes. Nuclear activity happening. Super cool. Super cool. And this one here, which is just, you know, like your average kind of controlling, but it's got that tactical design on the outside. Really, really sweet. So when I got all 3 of these came at once. I had gotten these, and what he also sent, because he is the man, I had multiple choices for the screens. Oop, there we go. He sent extra handles in case something happens. Can't go wrong there. Now that's really helping out. Here, let me see if I can show these off right quick. So these right here, super, super cool. Like, look at the detail on that. Very tactical. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it. I love it. This one is arguably my favorite. Really, really sweet. And then these are the last two. This one is also really awesome. They're all good, but that one is super sweet. So there's a lot of care and like great. I mean, you know, it's customer service. It's really what it is. It's sending all these things, giving me the option to put on there what I want it to look like. I think that goes a really long way. But also things like this, like, oh hey, in case God forbid it happens, you know, because if you're playing with your toys, you know, broken toys meant you were fucking playing with them. So there, a couple extra handles to be sent with it. So that was really great. I was so impressed with all of that, you know, kind of as a, for lack of a better term, as a package. The whole thing, you know, the customer service, the extra stuff in there, the extra care and attention, the great shipping out the box, all that. I was like, yeah, this dude's the man. What else does he have? He's got this super cool stand. First, before I get to the actual computer stand, my dude sent something a little bit extra. I'm going to actually move this out of the way for a second. I know this is definitely not the best way to do this, but again, I was very, very much rushing to get out of it, so just bear with me. All right. Now again, he sent it this way for shipping purposes, but easily put together. All I've got to do is apply a little bit of glue. Now I know all you guys are already thinking, hey, I can do some really cool shit with this, and you are right. The first thing I saw, just to share it and put this down, first thing I saw was Gung Ho on here. I mean, of course, Roadblock too. Maybe Roadblock spotting them, but that is super sweet. Again, I haven't glued it yet. It all fits together perfectly, and I have a feeling the way that the bar is scaled and set is really, really sweet. It's got like a particular curve on one side and then it's flat on the other, and I don't know if it had to be that way or it's just a really great design, because that will like kind of sit really, really cool inside inside one of the figure's hands. So that is definitely super cool. Here's the other. I got this plate on here. So yeah, again, once I glue it, it'll all hold together nice. It's a great little set, absolutely perfect. Andrew, I fucking love it, brother. It's really, really sweet. I'm gonna slide this out of the way. But yeah, let me see. So again, I don't have the glue on here, but yep, just to show you a nice little bit of detail in there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Very good. Let me slide this out of the way. Now, what I will do, y'all, is I will put, yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to set this up like this so it's facing you guys. I am. Okay. I think I can do this. Let me see if I can get this closer. Hold on. Oh yeah, now we're fucking talking. Nice. All right. I think I'll wind up having to pull it up again. Get a little bit more like there. Sorry if you get motion sick easy. Hopefully I'm not doing you dirty. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna try to set it up like this. So the first thing. Now again, I haven't glued anything yet. Once that shit is all glued on, it's all going to be golden. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now, one of the coolest parts about this is the way that this is set up, where you can have this one, and then this. Oh, no, hold on, I gotta go back. Sorry. There we go. Try again. So this here, boop, and then the secondary screen underneath, the stands slide together, so it stands like that. And I got one set up there. Now I want to keep reminding you that I have not glued the stuff together yet. So if you see it kind of shaky or wobbly, that's because I have not glued it yet. I had enough time to take it out of the box and tell them how much I loved it, and then and set it up and show my kids, and my kids loved it. Just so you know, the kids absolutely were super thrilled. They couldn't get enough of it. So here you go. Let me push this out from behind. Boop. I went too far. That's my fault. But I'm not even going to attempt to put that back in right now. But that slides out. There we go. And we got, let's see. We got here the tower. Look at how awesome that is. Great paint job, a lot of detail in that. That is super, super sick. And that'll slide boop, right in there. Very, very cool. what I have here are some speakers, and because it wasn't sure which one, I kind of got a little taste test here so I can show you. We have this set, very awesome, which is your, you know, old school kind of basic looking, and then he really got jiggy with it with these. Doop. Fuck yeah, really, really sweet. I love it. These are awesome. Honestly, you know, I don't know which one I like better. I feel like they both offer something. You know, one is a little more classic looking, but you know, you can put these if you're using, like, imagine these in an Iron Grenadier set with Destro at the helm or something. Yeah, really, really awesome. And you can put these somewhere like right here. Make sure it's the same way. There we go. And then I could also, because we're partying up this motherfucker, put all them up there. So that is super sweet. So yeah, the interlocking screen, amazing. I absolutely love that. And then let's see here. I've also got, let's see here. Another tower. Really sweet. That one's unpainted. I love the way that looks, even black. Looks pretty sweet. Very, very good. I also got here, I have an extra keyboard. Look at how awesome that is. That is some very detailed paint. Brother, I'm sure you do this by hand, right? I mean, that's fucking, right? Don't you paint that on there? That shit is fucking crazy. Now, that's some high-ass detail right there. I love it. Very, very sweet. Now, look at this fucker. Here's the chair. Oh, Jesus. Here's the chair. Yep, hand paint. Very nice, bro. Very nice. And look at this motherfucker. That chair is really dope. I love it. He's even got like this little vent area kind of painted underneath. It's perfect. I had a fit. Let's see if I can get. See if we can get Sebastian to take a seat. All right, he's got that big ass holster on his hip, but he sits nice. Let me get him in the frame there. He sits nice. That is scaled beautifully. Yep. So if he didn't have that big ass holster, he'd sit nicely right in there. Just about every figure I could think of that I'm gonna want to sit in here doesn't have anything beefy like that. But even still, close his legs a little more, he'll slide right in there. But look at that, feet to, and if I, you know, feet to the ground. If I kind of sit it right and everything. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep it in frame. But hell yeah, there he is. Sebastian loves it. He's sitting just fine. So yeah, this is an incredible set. Oh, hold on, I'm not done yet. So as with the laptops, obviously, we got to put something on these screens. Here, there's two of these I'm going to save for the end because they're really cool. So these are very similar to the previous ones. I think I can't remember. I don't know. I think this one's different than the other one. I think this one looks the same. That's not in the other one. But these are all really awesome. I know when you're looking at these, you're like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I want on my fucking shit right here. It looks really, really, I mean, that is super cool. Where's the other one? There's one of them on here. It's like, Blood definitely watching ballet, bro. You ain't fucking lying. Pure Wayne when nobody's looking. This one is awesome. I just love that green, that tactical green. Yep. So you get all these plus if you look. Yes. Yes. I love it. How fucking cool is this? Both really, really sweet looking. So I can make, you know, choose one or the other, make it a little different. Whichever one that you want, you know, whoever is looking at it, if it's for the Joes, if it's for the Cobras. So the deal is, if you could go over, again, I will put a link up to Dice Man 3D Props. He will have something that's listed over there that will show what it is that you get for the package. And if you mention that I sent you over there, he is going to ship this to you for $50. So also, on top of the fact that you're getting an incredible deal on having this shipped to you, he's also going to throw in a little bit of extra, but remember, you got to mention that I sent you. So, yep. And if you look, he also prints an 18 scale for the 3 3/4. So, hey, I know our boy Big Red has one of the dopest 3 3/4 collections out there. And if he's, yeah, that's good info, brother. I didn't know that. Yeah. So I'm going to slide it back just a wee bit, get it a little more in the middle there. Let me move the chair out of the way, so I want y'all to just get a really good look. I fucking love it. I think it is really, really cool. The way that the stands sit together on the bottom is really, really sweet. So, you know, and like I said, so there's extras in here galore. Really, really dope. He is a super cool dude. I would definitely hit him up and get some of his stuff. I can't say it enough. You know, part of, to me, you know, when, you know, I know a lot, like with some of the people that I know are, you know, this is something that's helping them out, and I love that. So if I'm going to get something, I want to get it from somebody that is out here trying to make it happen. And so I love this. He's an awesome dude. I can't stress to you enough. Again, get some laptops. Do you know, these are, you know, I don't know, I think I did it last week, but I'll do it again. I'll get one of these in Sebastian's hand. Sebastian's our JP Pruitt hand model to the stars this week. All right, let's get him stood up. You get a real good idea what's popping here. One thing about this Major Blood, if you touch the back of that helmet, like back here, it fucking flies right off. So I'm just going to leave that off before I completely lose my mind. I've knocked it off often if you can't tell. So there you go. Let's see, there is Major Sebastian holding that fucker. How awesome is that? Yep, so it's perfect. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. There we go. I'm going to actually widen the camera back out real quick. I tell you, as much as I you know, obviously I'm obsessed with all this, but trying to get a figure to stand sometimes, I'm sure my toy photography brethren out there, it can be fucking maddening, straight up maddening. Hold on a second, it's gonna be a pain in the dick. Yeah. Oh, hey, Andrew, you know it, brother. Anytime. I appreciate it. So also, y'all, expect to see a lot of this shit coming up in some posts. I've got a few ideas. This ultimately, what I have this for. Oops, what the fuck's going on here? What ultimately this is going to wind up as, I do believe, is going to be the command center for the Python Patrol entrance to Cobra Island, the much talked about and yet to be delivered one. So I think that is going to wind up there. Let's see. Okay, looking at the blood figure, I think I'm going to open my number 27 blood. Oh yeah, dude, it's awesome. You're going to love that one. If that's the one you have, I love them both. Really, the only reason that I love this blood is because it's basically just the other one, but he now has these little red hints that somebody said it and it went in my brain. He is the leader of the 788 fire team, and I think that is the coolest fucking thing. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, just to wrap it up one more time, go see my boy Dice Man 3D Props on Facebook. I will have a link. I was supposed to have the link set up in somewhere else. I don't have it, but yeah, definitely go check him out. Yeah, set him free, set blood free, and you're very welcome, Andrew. Thank you. All right, so just give me a sec so I can gently pull the stuff out of the way here. Actually, you know what? I don't need to move. Yes, I do need to move it out of the way because I think I'm going to do something else here. All right. And real quick, while I'm doing a little bit of some promotion and telling y'all what is good out there, I absolutely have to get to a couple other things real quick. I think I've showed this off every podcast because it's worth it. There's not much out there that I don't know everything, right? I haven't looked at everything. So I can't definitively say everything. But I've seen a fucking lot. And there's not much you're going to get. You're going to be very hard pressed to find something as awesome for the price that you get from Mo's Mind Creations. Number one here, one thing that especially for the value is this. This is fucking awesome. This is an incredibly turbo piece to do photography with. It looks crazy. I would do something with this every time. In a little bit of water, coming out of the water. I had two divers pulling on the front as they were pulling it out. Looked incredible. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's high quality shit. The detail, just the well placed lines that make it look like, go a little bit lower. The lines that, make it look like a craft. This rope that he used is perfect. It comes with two nice oars. I will be doing another shoot because I didn't use the oars in the previous one. Again, this looks dusty because I was playing with it. It was in the water. This moves, this articulates beautifully. Again, just the design, this all looks scales so perfectly. And then really this is Homeboy design shit like nobody else. So this right here, standing is the perfect scale for one of the figures to stand. And then whoop, you can take one of those off, and now it's the perfect scale for Beachhead at least, which is an average size figure. There he was kind of kneeling down, and it looked awesome. And then now for the coup de grace, it will go all the way down, and it still looks right. And that figure can be almost all the way down. You can have a figure like on the side straddling it. Looks like they're about to come in. Now, this is in the Joe colors. It also comes in Cobra Blue. Yes, CG Horror. CG Horror, my brother has got one from Mo's Mind Creations on the way. That hopefully he'll have that soon. I know you're going to do cool shit with that, bro. I can't wait to see you pop some eels in that. Right, CG Horror? I think you said you got some eels that are ready for that. Gonna be dope. So yeah, there it is. That is the Merc, which is for the money. You can't fuck around. You absolutely have to go check that out. You can find a link to Mo's Mind Creations in tons of spots on my webpage. One of them, I'm just knocking everything over off camera in case you can't hear that. I'm going to show you something else too. So the next big dio I do is going to be the Cobra Claw launching facility. And the outside of that is going to be protected by this right here. Boop, 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 boop. This thing is fucking turbo. So, again, here, I'm going to go back down here. So, our dude, Matt, has an incredible eye for design, right? He absolutely create some shit that is so much different than anything that's out there. Number one, the modular ability of this. You can move this and shape it. The range of motion on all these is crazy. Same thing with this gun, which is just these, double Vulcan cannons here. Absolutely crazy. There's belt fed in the back. Let me see if I can just turn that around real quick. Boop. If you look by the cannon there, boop, you see that double feed? Really ridiculous. Now, these all also go together. I will bust out another one in a minute, but if you look right here, you pull this pin, super easy. You pull this off, boom, and you see that tab? That will now receive another building or another one of these because they're designed, male, female, male, female. Boop, this is just an end cap to make so this isn't just hanging out like this. You design this turbo looking thing that goes on there. Bang. Bang. That's the simplest you're going to get. But you can turn it. You buy two of these. I think if you buy, what is it? Let's see, one. I'm trying to do the math here. Yeah, if you got one more of these, it would connect right here like this, and you would have a perfectly full square. How ridiculous is that? And again, for the price, you can't fuck with it. If you bought one of these, this is the bar. If you bought one of these and then an outpost, it's roughly, I think, like $155 before tax and shipping. But if you use my promo code, that'll help you out with most of the tax, depending on where you live. Destro Designs is the promo code. But yeah, so you've got $155. You got this. You have a fucking huge full diorama. Like, you almost don't need anything else. You could just buy these two things and set it and forget it. One of the things too, the depth of all of them, or at least how this one could be positioned, as well as the outpost, make it so a average size shelf will hold this. So you can even have them, you don't have to worry about, well, where am I going to put this thing? No, you put it right on the shelf with the rest of your shit and make it look even better. So there it is, there's that. I'm going to slide this one aside, and then I'm just going to real quick pull out the outpost. Now, last week when I pulled it out, I didn't have the ladder in front of me, so I forgot. So let me just pull this up a little bit. This is what the back looks like. And then it's got the ladder, which you can put on. It's got the notches, so you can put it on either side, whatever works. Here's that end I was talking about here. So if the colors are all customizable. So if you got the bar and Joe colors, you would be able to, this is where you would be able to connect it. This would be if you take the top off of this, this does move around like the bar. but it's fixed right now because it's got this on here. But here's the end cap. Again, comes on and off so easy because this shit's so fucking well designed. Look at the front. Look at that Ma Deuce. It's belt fed. You can see on the inside there. There's the belt feed with the canister. Look at this shelf. See here, I got a rifle can even sit in it. Grenade. I think I had grenades and a pistol on this side, but this nice gridiron gun, doop, right in there, on the ready to go. The top is awesome. I put sandbags all on the top. It's fantastic. I know I didn't have the best framing going on there, but the camera thing is real painless. So yeah, that is my brother Mo's Mind Creations. You can find the link all over the place. He's got, if you're unaware, if you happen to be listening for the first time, you can go. I have a post. You can find it in my media, or actually it's in my highlights, where I have a bunch of pictures, the production shots of the Atlas, which is the biggest, baddest fucking thing that you're gonna find right now. You definitely want to get on that when that becomes available, for sure. And if you look at his Etsy, all the stuff that he has on there is incredible. And there's price ranges. You know, you can get something that all different kinds of stuff, different sizes. There's something for you over there. Again, Destro Designs will give you that 5% off as the promo code. You can find them on Etsy, Mo's Mind Creations. And then I always also have to mention my brother Chris from Sis 3D Arsenal. I'm just making sure I'm articulating right tonight because I've been fumbling everybody's name. Sis 3D Arsenal. This is one of the first non-Hasbro shit that I had come across. And I saw, and I'll just, again, if you've seen me do this every week, I'm sorry. I saw this. This is the scrap iron mission crate. You open this up, you take this out. It's got, in this tray, these two cannons right here will go into the missile slots for Scrap Iron's drone. They look insane. That articulates. He's even got his SIS symbol right up on there. Boom. Very good. So underneath that in here, it's the second tray for you to put the missiles. So you take the missiles out, they go in here. That slides in there great. Same thing here. Boop, boop, boop. And the quality of these is off the charts. They are ridiculous. I absolutely love them. The handles are designed very well in a sense that I had two bats holding this one right here. This is fucking huge. There's weight on this bitch. It holds them. The two bats were holding it. It was really, really sweet. There's a bunch of big mission crates as such. They have some of the smaller ones like this right here. I absolutely love this one. This is going to be Operation Helix. I haven't made this video yet because I am just so backed up on stuff. But yeah, so as you see, all Helix stuff will sit in there just right. That's incredible. Also has the handles that fold on the inside. These all stack very well together. They look super cool. The grenade crates, boom, we've got Viper colors, we've got Hiss colors, and the Joes have one too. Much to Cobra Commander's chagrin, they have them. The Joe ones are super dope. They have, I'm going to show you up close. You can see the detail. These are fucking sweet. Boom. Look at those. That stripe makes it. The other ones don't have that stripe. The other ones are awesome, but this is fucking kind of detail. Yeah, so if you look, it's just like enough. If you look at that, the pin on it, or not the pin, but the grip, if you can take, it looks like you can go through there. There's just enough space. So that's a really, really awesome detail. I love it. My dude over here designed some pretty cool shit too. If you ask me, I think that Mo's Mind Creations and Sis 3D Arsenal are an incredible, like, you know, collaboration. You make the dio with, you know, it is the dio. Mo's Mind Creations is the dio. You set up the outpost, the Merc, and then you have this stuff behind it, and it just, there's nothing that looks like that. You could just boop, 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 grab the shit, and it looks absolutely awesome. Cobra doesn't care about safety. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Good to see you here, brother. But here we go. There it is. The Hiss one. I love this one. These looked really, really cool in the these looked really dope in the infantryman's hand. The Cobra. And listen, these are easier to get out than I'm presenting them. I'm just dick fingered and I have no fingernails. There we go. but they all have that same super detail that I love. Those little indents. You can kind of, looks like, you can slide your fingers behind the handle there. Really, really, really awesome. I absolutely love them. Yeah, like I said, the very first thing that I saw, originally I saw the Scrap Iron Mission Crate was on eBay. He had it on eBay, and I was like, ooh. And then I wound up going over and finally seeing the rest of his stuff that he has over on Etsy. And that is just incredible. Again, I just love that detail. There were 16 of them in there too. And it's not always just, and like as far as mission crates, this is a Snake Eyes mission crate. I haven't opened my number 52 yet, but it's got a tray. And then I actually use it. I'll show you real quick what I've been using it for. This is for all Snake Eyes accessories, but you can even use it for whatever, right? We can play with it however we want. And here I've got some Valviverse guns in there, just kind of hanging out. I actually got all these in an incredible deal, all these guns. But yeah, see how cool that looks? And there's just enough room still where I can slide this right back in. Bingo bango. Right in there. Everything is machined, like, or printed just, listen to me, printed just so. Sits just right. I absolutely love it. And then he has just even other things, like this is one, let's see, hold on, I'm going to show this first. So this right here, more ordnance. I love this one. This one is cool. I got a Joe version of this as well. But you've got these bombs here. These bombs are like wall bombs. Look at the detail on keypads. Really, really cool. And we have these like landmines here. And there is not just 4 of them. There's 8. There's 2 layers there. That's pretty freaking sweet. So you get 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different bombs in essence. You get this really cool base. And also, I believe, yeah, the little tray on the inside comes out too. All of them do that, which is so you can just play with these and make them however you want. The modular ability on this also really plays into the design super well. But then there's just things like this, which is really cool. Before I even open this, so there's different kind of props. Right now, I have something coming soon that is going to be, it's this size, but when you open it up, it's these chemical canisters. That is so fucking awesome. In the moment, I'm actually striking. I know I had gotten something else with that too. The chemical canister, and the mass device holder. So he has, imagine this, but a little bit taller. You take the top off, and there's a spot to hold each of the elements from the divers, the breaker, and the Snake Eyes polar bear. So you can have all 3 of them in a case. Cobra can run away with them. Unbelievable. But this, something like this here, boom, I fucking love this. Look how dope that is. And again, because my dude don't play, there's not 8 of them here. There's 16. There's 2 layers. He's got his nice emblem on there. I love how he sneaks that emblem in everywhere. I think that is super awesome. The tray is so good. All the little details, everything looks so nice. It's like when I look at these things, they hit like Joe stuff, right? These here, the same thing with the anything from Moe's Mind Creations, but these things. So yeah, my dude's sister, just is just a random kind of case. I don't have anything in here at the moment, but you stack a bunch of these together, you get something like this, and boom, and now you've got picture time. You put this behind an outpost, whatever. But yeah, absolutely perfect. And also, just to tease real quick, I painted a bunch of stuff in preparation for the arrival of some things coming from Sith 3D Arsenal, is the Cobra Claw launching facility. I've been talking about that. I'm just going to touch base on it real quick. It is going to feature, the outside is going to be protected by the bar. I'm finally getting around to making a video for that. You're going to see the Joe sneaking up from the outside. But what's going on the inside is going to be a variation of stuff coming from coming from Sith 3D Arsenal, because the Televipers and the Techno Vipers have to work on these claws. These claws have to get out quick. They've got to take that case that's coming from Sith 3D Arsenal, that chemical case, and they've got to fly that out of there. They're going to have, one of them's going to be holding on to it while she's flying away, and they have to fly faster and farther than the claws normally do. So we've got to get some tools and some awesome mechanic stuff from Sith 3D Arsenal. They got to have some shelving to store their stuff in there. This is a top-notch facility, so it's going to have top-notch stuff in it. Destro arms his people with the best when you fill a dial like that, and that the best comes from Sith 3D Arsenal. So he's over on Etsy also. You can find links. I've done a bunch of videos. I think what I have to do is, when I make the liner notes for the episode, which I didn't even do for this because I barely jumped on in time, I have to start putting the links to everybody's Etsy's and Twitter pages on here, so everybody can just kind of easily follow right over. I didn't do that again this week, so yeah, I will have that all set up. But yeah, go see my dudes. All right, this is good shit. And again, I'll give you the speech that you know, my money goes where my mouth is. I don't. I buy stuff from these. I spend my hard-earned money on these products, and I'm always very satisfied when I do. So I'm absolutely gonna let you guys know. There's always great feedback and reviews of like videos or the pictures that I take, and I have to accredit a lot of that awesomeness to the things that are there. Right? I can set 2 figures up, and it can look one way, but then if you have the right stuff around it, it looks a completely different way. And I think everybody would kind of agree to that. I think it's you know. That you can go so far. Oh, something else that I have here. I didn't print this. This is, you know, a gun rack. I'm sorry, I printed this. Chris didn't make this, but you can get his files too, or you can order it right from him and make it awesome. But these kind of gun racks and this shelving are amazing. I'm gonna stop showing those though because I printed them like shit. I didn't clean them up enough. I had to shrink them down because I had to shrink the STL because I have a smaller size. I have a resin printer that I don't print that like big shit necessarily. So I had gotten a resin printer. CG Horror hooked me up with all that. But that's, yeah, I just, you know, a couple detailed things here and there. But I did print out a bunch of these and they're awesome. I love them. Every sub team has a spray painted version. As you can see, if you look somewhere back here, the Alley Vipers have a whole setup. All my Alley Vipers are still mostly in the box, but I have a squad room ready for them to get set up. All right, so I know everybody who comes and watches, you know, you guys have been here for probably all these last weeks, so you hear me go over all this stuff again. It's just a small little section where I'll always do where, you know, I get a lot of stuff from these places. I use them and everything, and anytime anybody new comes through, I like to kind of just throw it out there that everybody can see it. So I've reached the point where I had, you know, a lot of stuff kind of written down, but again, I didn't have too much time to prep for anything kind of cool. I have a bunch of other lists that I'm going to be doing. I think with, you know, as I have other guests on, I definitely want to have, I want to do a top 10 with everybody, right? Like, hey, welcome in, thank you for coming. Who do you like? You know, give us your top 10. So not everybody will have to do it. If they don't want to do it, then, you know, that's fine. We'll find other stuff to do. But yeah, so I did want to open something real quick, and I think, so I'm going to do it in the comments. I don't know who has what. I have a funny feeling who's going to win. But here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open one of these to end it up. So we've got in the running, Snake Eyes version 4. I haven't opened mine yet. That's in the running. Dick King. We could go old school. I could open this. I can open this. We could again go old school. Boop. I could open this. And then one more old school. I have an Alpine that I haven't opened. So at this rate, whoever answers first will probably, let's see, what do we got? Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right, Chris. As far as diorama supplies go, I have to jump back. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Boom. This is also from Sis30 Arsenal. High detail, scales perfectly, and boom, you can put stuff in there. I got a set of these, 2 of these. Again, my boy snuck his thing in there. Look at that. Boop, boop, boop. With the canister. If I remember correctly, I think these 2, they did. They came in there. And that sits in there nice. And it's one of those things where the design comes into play, where boop, you can set it in there and it ain't gonna fly out, but it takes no effort to actually get it off. So yeah, thank you, Chris. I had to go back to that because these diorama supplies, and very inexpensive too. Yeah, I don't remember what the prices were off the top of my head, but I know you can get all 3 of these for a very reasonable price, and they look awesome. These actually are scaled incredibly well also, so hell yeah. I'm glad you said something, Chris, to jump back to that real quick. All right, so we got boop. You can take, these are the 2 new ones. I'm sure somebody's, why we're getting some answers in, I'm just going to jump back to. I got these cards. I know I showed these. I'm not going to take them all out again, but our boy Cole Art Creative, everybody knows who the man is. This is the shit. He's got some killer Masters of the Universe stuff going on right now. That's just insane. He has those G.I. Joe group pictures. They look like the Brady Bunch thing set up, but it's like G.I. Joe and Cobra. Reach out to that guy. I don't know if you guys have ever inquired. There's a few people who do some G.I. Joe art, and if you inquire with them about prices, they're pricey. And hey, you know, quality is you get what you pay for. But these are the exception to that rule, because you can reach out and get some incredible stuff for your for your office, your toy room, whatever it is. You can get them super cheap. Let's see what we got here. I haven't opened mine. So Snake Eyes, Polar Bear. So we got one for the Polar Bear. All right, so I see two, Big Red and Holiday. You said Snake Eyes, so I'm just Snake Eyes, so I assume you mean this one. All right, so far we've got two for this and one for the Polar Bear. I'm gonna give it another minute here. That Dick King, I'm interested to open that. I think that's gonna be dope. Right now it looks like it's gonna be Snake Eyes. So let's see what we got here. Oh, I don't have my. I try to, I keep all my boxes, and I love that. Eventually, I think space will become an issue with that. All right, here we go. Move it back down again. Move some stuff out of the way. Ooh, hold on, wait, it's tied. So we got two for Polar Bear, two for Snake Eyes. Hold on, CG Horror ties it up. All right, we need somebody to break this tie. We got two for the Polar Bear. Two for the Polar Bear, one for the regular. I'm gonna have to get the light back over here. All right, let me move this. I'm gonna move this light over here. See if we can. I can do this a little bit better. So yeah, we need one more person to vote it up. Alright, there we go. That should light it up a little bit better. I moved the light out of the way of the freaking camera. Boom, Polar Bear. There we go. Hearthstone breaks the tie. Polar Bear it is. Awesome. Bang. Here we go. Let's see. The color on the uniform for the Snake Eyes here is absolutely amazing. I even liked it, just like the renders. I was like, whoa, look at that. Ooh, doggy. Nice. The bear's so goddamn big they had to take his fucking legs off. Alright, so first off, Mass Device piece. Bang. Awesome. Very cool. Oh, alright, here we go. Yeah, it's it. Now we're going to the landslide. Chris from Sis3D Arsenal votes Polar Bear too. Polar Bear it is, brother. Here we go. I like it. Oh geez, on the Full Force podcast, somebody had called the one that comes with Breaker the Ari Kebab meat. Very cool. Nice. Oh, just got yours too, Chris. Yeah, but I was gonna open it because the kids wanted me to open it right off the bat, and I don't remember what happened. We got sidetracked. But there we go. That is some shit right there, boy. Now, I can show it to you, right? But I don't think you can. That detail, that lighting is fucking awful. But yeah, the detail is crazy work there. Those teeth are amazing. I'm gonna slide this right down here. Now, this is one of the things that I remember looking at this with the arrows. Boom. What an idea, right? We'll make an extra panel so you can make it look like the dude is shot up. Oh, okay. So we got one of the legs down here. Let's see what we got. I'm going to take this out so everybody can see this. Oh, yeah. Now, this looks pretty cool. Somebody that's always cooking in the kitchen too, our dude Thanos. Thanos has got that ridiculous toy collection. I know you've probably seen it get circulated. It was a pretty popular post. He's got an incredible collection. Well, he took this and hold up. Oh, there it is. Whew, thought I was missing half of that fucker. There we go. So he took this and touched it up with some silver and made it look quite awesome. Now I'm trying to see. Oh, that goes on the inside. Okay. Boy, oh boy, fumbling around here. Nice. Okay, now that it's in there, yeah, okay. Both go up. Bang. Pretty nice. I dig it. I dig it. It's not that long, right? Do you want to get that close to a bear? I don't want to get that close to a bear. Here, I'm going to add a little light over here so when I bring things up to the camera, there we go. So when I go like this, there, that's better. So you know what? I'm going to bring this back. There you go. How's that? That better? Look at that. Wow, look at them back teeth. And look at like the ripples on the top of the mouth. Holy fuck. That's top notch right there, boy. Oh, he's all scarred up too. Boy ain't playing. Fuck. That's really awesome. I love that. Right, so let's just, oh my god. Okay, so when you feel the weight of the package initially, ooh, look at that. When you feel the weight of the package initially, it is this. What a chonker. Alright, so let's see what we got here. It should just pop on. Y'all, I got 2 right legs. Unless, oh, okay. Wow, that's weird. Look at that. I thought I had 2 right legs. Holy fuck. That's hilarious. I think I saw somebody post about that. That's, yeah, I thought, if you didn't see what happened there, I thought I had 2 back legs. Yeah. This is fucking crazy. Look at this fucking, the detail on that fur. How it's a little smoother on the top where it gets all that wind and whatnot. And it's a little rougher on the bottom. Yeah, rougher around the legs. Down around the bottom here. Even that face sculpt. Oh, how awesome. So like I said, I got a bunch of timbers to go with it. I think it's gonna be insane. The Snowcat dial is gonna be off the chain. There we go. So now, the man of the hour. The man above all lists, Snake Eyes. Oh, you know what? When I was giving shout-outs earlier, I was looking through my notes, and one thing just reminded me, I don't know if I shouted him out or not, but our boy Jeremy, a resident, insane knowledge dropper about stuff. Now, Conrad is quite knowledgeable as well. Jeremy just has shit on tap that's insane. Like earlier, just the way he looks at it, I think sometimes too. It's like earlier somebody had posted a Rashikage picture, and Jeremy commented. He was like, the tattoo is on the wrong arm for Storm Shadow, but otherwise it's badass. I was like, oh my god, fucking machine. Yeah, buddy. Look at that motherfucker. Neon hands are turbo. I love this color. I know this is, in essence, just a repaint, but oh man, God, that's fucking turbo. Or his upper is, at least. I don't know if are the legs the same. Huh. So just to give you an idea too, boop boop. Here we go. So this is a classified figure. I know you've seen it anyway, just about everywhere. But yeah, this thing is slide these extras off to the side. So look at that, and look at that. This is how big this fucker is. Let me see what we're doing. And that's here. I'll turn it. This is the real difference. I'll turn it like that. Look at that. This thing is enormous. Holy shit. Yeah, you ain't lying, Conrad. It is an insane, insane piece. So here, I'm going to set him right here. We got him right here. I'm going to pull out just an extra or 2. I know the sound of this is probably grueling as a motherfucker. This is cool. That is really awesome too. I love with the little handles. I wonder if they can get a hand in there, if they can hold it by that. If there's like they can get a thumb or something in there. It looks like. Oh, hold on by a finger. No, that's pretty dope. I like that too. That's a great dio piece to have. Yeah, nice. When I look at this though, honestly, it just really makes me want to get the retro card because this is pretty awesome. That is kind of like OG Snake Eyes for sure. The pink hands are awesome. One thing I'm super happy about as well that we have been getting in a lot of the different guys is this OG rifle I'm trying to get out of here. I know this is probably getting a little boring, but let me see here. Well, this is what you get by not having your X-Acto knife ready. Oop, hold on, I see it. So while I'm just kind of getting this out here, I'll just rap real quick about something. One of the figures, man, we had gotten a wave. That Frag Viper Blowtorch Darklon Footloose wave. I was thinking about that today. What a fucking wave, man. Holy shit. I was looking at my Darklon figure. That is off the chain. Off the chain. Mass Device is easily Snake Eyes at his coolest in the original cartoon. Yeah, my brother, I have to agree with you there. Especially the scene where he shoots down the door and all that. Yeah. Snake Eyes ain't fucking around. And this, this outfit is really awesome too. The purple, like I don't know where it comes from. It's just all of a sudden he was just like that in the show. You know, it was like the same getup as his OG figure, but just in a purple. So let's see. Trying to get that pink fucking finger in there. There we go. Yeah, so I'm happy that they've been putting this rifle in here. It looks cool. In the Retro Duke's hand, it looks amazing. But yeah, this fucking badass shit right there. So he's gonna have his own display until something. I'm gonna leave him out. I'm gonna find some place to put him until the Snowcat comes, and then I don't know. What do you all think? You think we're gonna get we think we're gonna get that Arctic Snake Eyes that they did for what was that, the 25th anniversary in the 3 3/4, where Homeboy had that big heavy coat on. He had the Quinn skull and shit like that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, man, this is really awesome. I'm not gonna bother with the pistols and all the other stuff. I just kind of wanted to get this purple dude out. Let me see. Let's do this. Nice. This week in Hearthstone, I would be shocked if they do not make that cold weather Cobra Commander. Me too, brother. You talk about the one with the jacket that comes down over the legs and everything like that. They just made that into what? A Super 7 made that, right? Is that the one you're talking about with that fucking jacket? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Big Red. This is dope. It's super dope. That's right. There's another plethora of information. Our dude Conrad Hauser. He also knows all them parts and pieces and stuff, which is crazy to me. It's insane. All right. So yeah, you all know what it is in terms of the webbing. I'm looking at it. I'm pretty sure that's just this is all just mostly the OG retro carded Snake Eyes. I think the legs, the boots, I think it's all the same. Conrad, is it all the same? Is it the legs? Is it all that too? And it's a straight repaint, which I'm fine with. When you do something cool like this, I'm fine with repaints. Very cool. Yes, yeah, Big Red, brother. I was just talking about that. Yes, in the 25th anniversary, they made a winter Snake Eyes. I don't have it. I actually had it in my cart from eBay a bunch of times, and I never bought it because I have a bunch of them over there, and I never look at them. So, yes, you are correct, Big Red. They made an awesome version where he had the skulls around the Quinn, same skulls around his neck as his Quinn. He had a big black beefy jacket on and whatnot. Yeah, dude, it was really, or some white frillies. Yep. Same OG 13 mold as Grunt and Stalker. Ah, no doubt, no doubt. Conrad, I would love a winter Cobra Commando, also a winter Destro from either the cartoon or that incredible 2011 figure where he had frost on his dome. Yeah. That 2011 figure is dope. I do actually know what you're talking about there. That is pretty cool. Absolutely. I think that's definitely awesome. I'll tell you, those 25th anniversaries are pretty are pretty dope. There's a lot of really, really good ones. That Paratrooper could be the best 3 3/4 figure ever made. I mean, with the exception of Snake Eyes, obviously. Yeah, Big Red. That is the OG. That is the original like plasma rifle from the cartoon. They've got it done up. If I obviously I think in the mass device, that's the color of the shit that they had. You know, the silver plays into it here. In Homeboy's extras, let's see why I got them up here. You can look at them scale next to the polar bear. Because you're not looking at the camera straight, or it's not looking at it straight on, it's hard to see exactly. So let's see. Oh yeah, so you can definitely get the bear to do some crazy ass shit. Yeah, they were not fucking around with this bear. Yo, holy shit. Wow, look at that. Oh my god. Yeah, so you can get them arms all the way up there. And, you know, I didn't notice that at first. These articulate right at the end so you could stand, and then you can get it all the way flat if you're trying to. Holy shnikes. God, that is really awesome. And then, you know what? Honestly, it stands way. I don't know. I don't know if you have any preconceived notions about what that's like to stand, but yo, that's not that bad. The weight is distributed nicely, so as I'm kind of, yeah. Wow, that is awesome. Matt from Mo's Mind Creations. The quality of the bear excites me for the scorpion. That's a great point, brother. That scorpion is probably going to be incredible. If they did anything of the sort with that scorpion, then we are in for a treat. Because now was the price the same for the here? Let me see if I can real quick do this. Here you go. Now you can really get a better idea of how much bigger that fucking thing is. Look at that shit. It's not even close. Holy fuck. I can't even get them both. I have to go all the way back here to get them the whole of the bear. It's almost twice the size of Snake Eyes. That's awesome. So yes, Matt from Mo's Mind Creations. I love that shout. That definitely does make me feel so much better about the scorpion as well. I think that's going to be a really cool set. Let's see. I already have a shelf idea brewing for my snake and bear. Oh, my boy, CG Horror. I can't wait to see what you get going on, brother. Every time you do fuck around with something, you put it out there. I think it's pretty dope. I was talking to him the other day about the raptor shot that he did, and he was like, "Oh, I just, I did it outside my apartment real quick and with a phone, but it was awesome. I love the way it framed it with the plant that was behind it. The sun came in just right. The whole thing. I thought it was sweet. So yeah, I can't wait to see what you get cooking with that, brother. That's awesome. What are you all naming your polar bear? Conrad, great question. God, I'm not sure. What does he look like? What does he look like? Obviously, it's Whitey's a little too on the nose. Cletus, Big Red, Cletus, good call, good shout. Let's see. If we've got Timber for Snake Eyes, what would the polar bear be? I mean, we could call him Tiny, to make it. Right now, Tiny is in the front running for my bear. I think I'm going to call him Tiny. There was a gentleman that lives up here that I grew up with. He was in a local band, and ironically they called him Tiny. So that's kind of funny to think I could call this bear Tiny. What else? Let's see. I'm really drawing a blank here. I'm usually pretty creative on the spot. That's a good shout though, Conrad, to throw that out there. So this is what we got. Oh, you know what I want to do real quick? It's kind of a shame when I know that in the cartoon he didn't come with did the icy polar bear have a name? Oh, good fucking call. Jack? Holy shit. Yeah, that's a good name. He definitely looks like a Jack. Did the icy polar bear have a name? Matt, that's a great question. Man, I don't know. Let's see what he looks like with the pistol. So I know he didn't have a backpack in the cartoon in the mass device, right? I don't think he did. But what kind of drives me crazy is like he's got this gun now, right? Like what if he doesn't, I feel like they should all. I mean, when you were a kid, you would just do some shit like this and be like, that's fine, you know. But when you're putting something on display, I mean, I guess I could maybe try to put it down to the back. You could do some dumb shit like this, but it looks stupid. But yeah, this pistol is really nice. I always got to give it the way that I test the pistol in a figure's hand as I do this. I see if you can get it to look just right while looking, and that's pretty fucking good. Some of them don't line up as well as I want. This one looks pretty good. And you know what's crazy is a lot of times in the shot when you get it to look right, when I'm looking at it off the side of the camera, it looks ridiculous. Because if you're like, oh, if you were looking, but see how his arm is all straight? I don't have to make it do any kind of silly shit to get it look just about right. I mean, he's obviously not staring directly down the barrel, but I feel like if I turn it just right, I will be able to get, let me see, turn that way. Nope, I went the wrong way, didn't I? I did. Alright, so I won't make you suffer through that. But that is, he looks really good with the pistol as well. You always got to give it the bent arm, turn head look. There he is. Well, he passed all the tests. Everything looks amazing. The polar bear, it's one of those things who steals the show here? The polar bear is incredible, but at the same time, this fucking Snake Eyes. Shit. There we go. I didn't break it. There we go. I was just trying to get us a little closer here. Good. Didn't want to ruin the whole thing. So, there. We'll get a better shot at what it looks like down on the ground. So the legs, the articulation, the movement, it's got whatever you think the range of motion is on this motherfucker, it's way better. That is pretty easy to move around and pretty dope to do. I'll give you another look at it here. Get our dude down real quick. Boop. He is sending that bear trap. Yep, this will be cool. And just out of curiosity, look at that. So the trap does scale to the bear's foot in a sense that you can get it on there to look in a really cool way. So, as our boy Conrad said, this is a for sure amazing display piece. Having this and the purple Snake Eyes, it might be, I don't know, it might be a little much for a desk piece, depending if you work in an office or not. But I really think if you want to set the tone and you put one of these fucking things out on your desk, I think the people are going to be like, yo, what is this dude got going on? Especially with the nice metallic. Again, I'll give you a better up close look at that rifle. A lot of detail there. I love it. I like the one that came with Duke too. Is the tan and the green. It looks incredible. There it is. Nice. All right, y'all. So I won't drag you through any more of that. We got a lot coming up soon. I should have more time to get the good news is that I got all the comments. Last week I didn't have it, and I felt like I was missing an element to it. So if you look how we were able to all kind of go back and forth about the bear and everything just now, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. So I'm glad that it worked here. I am going to still try to get it to set up onto the laptop this week in Hearthstone. Thank you much. I appreciate it. I am going to try to get it set. You know it's going to take me 15 minutes to say goodbye anyway. I'm going to try to get the laptop set up so I can. It is going to be like a bigger screen, and the way that it sits right here, I won't really have to mess with this. But this thing actually works great. Is it mirrored this time? I don't know if I have any words that you can see. I remember last week CG Horror said that I was mirrored, like everything was backwards. So I don't know when you look at that, is that backwards or is that right? When I look at it, I think it's backwards. But I'm looking, so I don't know, but I'm in the cameras. Anyway, we made strides. Everything is still backwards. Thank you, CG. Yeah, I don't have a clue. The only thing I see over here is if I hit that button, it's going to turn the camera facing the other way. All right. Well, you know what? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. I'm sure there's something that I did. But yeah, once I get everything else set up, these kind of kinks worked out, it'll definitely be a lot better. What I do want to do too is get something set up where I can, anybody that wants to come on, like I said, we'll talk about it. We'll do it. I think that's just a phone thing. Interesting, Matt. I wonder, it might be. I know that everybody that I've talked to, like he did a couple podcasts, and he said that he used a laptop, and he kind of went through some of the stuff that was I think he said he used a phone first, and then he used a laptop, and there was some difference in the thing. So I'd like to get my laptop cooking. I've got some issues with it. There's something. Oh man, I wish we lived close to CG Horror for 1,000 reasons, but there's my laptop. I can't access the settings. Every time I click on the settings, the little settings gear pops up and then disappears. I haven't been able to get it. I haven't been able to log into my Wi-Fi because we got a new router, and my wife named it the same thing, meaning like we have the same listing name as before, and I can't get into settings to try to change something. It's crazy to change it to access to even see the new Wi-Fi. I tried for like 25 minutes the other day and I gave up because I was getting frustrated and I was tired. So I moved on, and then today I had worked a super long day, and I was like, all right, I think I'm gonna go down and mess with the laptop, and then there's a lot that's always going on in the house. Oh, something I did want to mention to everybody. I was talking with CG Horror about pictures and photos and stuff, and he had mentioned something about smoke. And so I originally bought what turned out to be a whole fog machine, meaning like if you ever went to some kind of party or whatever and they had a DJ there and he had something that was blowing smoke, well, that's what I bought. It's way down there, which it has uses. Like my kids are having a birthday party tomorrow, and I'm probably going to crack it out just wherever the music is, just to have this little ambiance for it. But that's not what you want. If smoke in a picture, you want sitting and like in an area. You just don't want this huge, amorphous like cloud that just makes all your lighting overblown. You want to be able to place it in the right spot. And so this is the thing. I will put up a link. This I got off Amazon. It was $40. It looks like a dab box, right? It looks like one of the things you just fucking smoke out of, which is in essence it is. It's basically the same idea. It's one of these cartridges here is basically the same thing. If you ever got like a dab pen that had this on it. I know, it does. It looks just it looks just like a vape. It's got just a charger, but the super cool thing about it is, oh fucking Christ, I was gonna test it for you all too. There's no on-off switch. Oh, here it is. There's no on-off switch. It runs by remote. And there is a tube that you can hook up to it. I think I got the tube here. All right, so it takes a second because you got to spread this tube over the top. So you can have this sitting over here and have this tube kind of hidden up into something. And you can have it away from where you are with the camera and turn it on with the thing. Let me see. I don't know if it's charged or not. Yep, there it goes. So as you can see, it looks like it's flying out, right? And you just turn it off. So it is definitely flying out of there. But when you put it into here, you know what? I'm just gonna put the tube on. When you put the tube on it, the tube takes some of the piss out of that force, right? Canned atmosphere. You know what, Chris? I saw that, but I just wondered what the like how much is it? Because like this thing, I've had the same tube for this fucker, and it has lasted forever. But once I get this tube on here, I'll show you where its real value is this. So I can take this right here, right? And then bang. So if you watch how it comes out of here, it's not as shooty, right? And like if I can, when you do it like that, see how it sits in my, oh wait, hold on. See how it sits in my hand? Like that? And just slowly kind of rises up? I think that's because of the particular liquid that's in there. It's an effect liquid that makes it that makes it just like a little bit heavier. So instead of it being a lighter smoke that just dissipates and flies up out of nowhere, it tends to sit. So when I did that Fang Buster shot from last week or whatever it was, that smoke that was on the ground, I got it on there and it was so still and so flat that when I took the picture, if you didn't know it was there, you could barely see it. So I had used just a little high-tech blowing, using my mouth and blowing on it a little to just kind of lift it up and then make it do some shit like around the light and to give it the effect. But that is what I like about this. That canned atmosphere, though, I am going to check that out, Chris. I do like this because, like I said, I could sneak this in somewhere and then by remote, control, light an area up with some of that real thick, heavy sitting smoke. The first thing I used this on was the Snake Eyes Recon 002 Firefly. And there's a shot where there's the stinger is waiting for Firefly, so it's like if you're looking at it, the stinger right here in the forefront, and the stinger driver's back here, and there's a whole bunch of smoke that comes through a little bit, and that shot is great. It's one of my favorite ones that I've ever done, and that was the first thing I had used that on. Big Red. Using that effect with Crystal Ball seems fitting with the whole creepy vibe he has. So, interesting enough, Big Red, as Matt from Shooting the Galaxy, I heard him say it on the Full Force podcast. He calls it happy accidents, where he does something and an unintended effect happens, but it's positive, so it's a happy accident. And one of the things that happened from happy accident for me, again, when I was doing that Fangbuster shot, is the original concept of that shot was going to be about it dissipates quickly. Oh, no shit. Yeah, maybe that's the difference, Chris. I'll be honest with you, though. I have seen the spray on that. I think I've seen it before. One dude was using it, and it did give a bigger overall effect. So, honestly, on like a big dial, if I was looking to kind of give it a foggy effect, I do think that canned atmosphere has some purpose. Because after you said it, it triggered something in my mind, and I remembered seeing it. One guy came through, and he blew just the whole back. It was a backlit display, and then he did it with it looked like an aerosol can. It was pretty dope. But oh god, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so anyway, I'll try to jog it. So this, you can get the smoke exactly where you want it, and when I did the Firefly one, it came out perfect. The way that the smoke rolled across the bottom of the screen and kind of sat there, and it was pretty heavy. I liked how it sat. Oh, that's what happy accidents. Believe me, I'm like this in real life too. Happy accidents. What had happened is when I originally did that Fangbuster shot, I wanted it to look like the green night vision. I was originally doing it so I had like I moved them all already, didn't I? Where did they go? So like Shockwave, for instance, I have one shot where the camera was right up in here, right up in here. So it was zeroed in where you could see Shockwave's eye, and then I tried to green light it from underneath, so it looked like the green from the night vision was hitting the back of his face. I didn't have the success that I wanted with it. I did get one shot that I will post at some point that did give that effect, and I thought it was cool. But the rest of it wasn't as dark as I wanted it. It didn't look like dark with just a night vision thing. It looked all lit the fuck up with just a little bit of green on dude's eye. Anyway, it still wound up cool. The happy accident is that when I used the smoke, the green little lights that I was using created this really cool effect. I almost turned it into a preview for the Dire Tech, right? Oh, Fangbusters run into Dire Tech, which is going to wind up being, because that's what it looked like. There was some pictures that I had that were full green, right? And then I had done one where again, this is the Fangbuster shot with, it's the Shockwave, Retro Shockwave, the Retro Beachhead, and the two Wolf Spiders, they're Fangbusters. So I had, those guys were set up, and then I had smoke that was coming around both of them. I was just trying different stuff. And so there was a lot of smoke in the air, and I had placed a whole bunch of these tiny little green lights, and it lit the smoke up like a motherfucker. And it had this real crazy effect. It almost looked like, I could almost have made it like Fangbuster showed up for this one to do this one thing, but they encountered this new technology that Cobra has, and it's the Dire Tech. So I have a feeling I will be doing a Crystal Ball shoot soon. Big Red, you nailed that. I definitely will be making it a whole thing. I won't wait for the Ghost Vipers. I'll wind up doing some shots of Crystal Ball as he is because he's awesome. That's a great little figure. And CG Horror, that's an incredible shout with the comedian from Watchmen. What a great movie, right? That Watchmen movie. That is fucking awesome. The graphic novel, I remember having that when I was younger. It was super cool. That is a really good movie. Speaking of stuff that I enjoy, that's not GI Joe. I'm a absolutely huge Metal Gear fan. Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, all of them. I think they're all awesome. One of the things we were talking about earlier is our boy Stevie Z had brought up. Oh, has anybody got the big Gatling gun that Vulcan Raven had? Vulcan Raven was one of the boss fights in Metal Gear Solid 1. And he was this dude who had this Volkswagen Beetle sized ammo feed thing on his back with a huge giant Vulcan cannon. And he was like, oh, has anybody gotten one of those, to go with like Road Pig or whatever? And I actually recently came across somebody had a set of those figures, and I don't know how many there is in the set. I didn't do any more research, but the dude had 8 of them. He had the Solid Snake, Psycho Mantis, Vulcan Raven, Ocelot, Liquid Snake, all the bosses, right, of it, and Meryl, Sniper Wolf, all those. The Solid Snake one was awesome. It came with that Makita missile launcher, his FAMAS, and a bunch of other little extras. And the figures look really great. I don't know how they articulate. I don't know how they move. I don't know what the quality is. I just know that I saw them, and it was all 8 of the figures for $800. Meaning, like, it was, you could buy all of these for $800, or you could fuck off. And that sucked, because I would love to have all of those. And then, as we were talking about earlier, our boy down Societal Casually was like, I got all those in storage. Crack them fuckers out, bro. Let's go. Oh, one more thing real quick before we get out of here. This is fine. Just to follow up, I was going to make a post about it, but I'll just say it here. So I should probably even save this for next week. Maybe I'll tell it at the beginning of the story. So if you guys remember, I made a post about I was doing work at a friend's house, right? My daughter's best friend, her dad, James. He had a leak in his basement. It was his hose bib. So I cut all the way back inside the house. I put a new drain down, shut off valve system in, the whole thing. And as I'm doing it, he comes over and just drops first print issue 21 and 25 of G.I. Joe. And I was like, what? He didn't say anything. He just was like, oh, look at this. And I looked, and he dropped them right on the washer. I was like, what the fuck are these? The first thing I said was, I picked it up. I was like, are these first print? And he was like, yes, these are first print. And I was like, boy, you just pulled this out? Like, we're sitting here talking, you know how much I love G.I. Joe, and you just now pulled this out? And so what he had said was his parents recently moved up from New Jersey. They had a box full of stuff. He had found a bunch of issues on the top of a box, and he thought that's all he had. He sold a few to his cousin, and he kept 21 and 25. Well, he went through the rest of that box that night, and he has first print issues 8 through 50. Number 8 all the way through 50. So the 20, not doubles of the 21 and 25. That's what I initially thought. I was like, so you have 2 more you have another one of those? And that's it. No. So he has issues 8 all the way through 50. And I was like, I wonder how many people have that many issues of first print still, right? I mean, that's almost all of them. Of course, you're missing the first 7, and you'd have to probably pay to get those. But I'd have to think that there's not very many people that have 42 of the first 50 of print issues. So yeah, he sent me a picture later on when he had all these other things. I was like, dude, what the fuck? And yeah, when I was there at his house and he pulled those out, I was almost as shocked at the way that he did it as much as that he had them. I was like, yo, bro, this is akin to like if I was a religious fanatic and you were like, oh, while you're here, I have the Holy Grail. Would you like to see it? Like, that's what I felt like. I felt like he had the most miraculous thing, and he was just casually like, oh, I happen to have this, I mean, I don't know what he was supposed to do. He wasn't, put on music and grandstand about it. But anyway, I just thought it was an absolutely insane thing, and I couldn't believe he pulled him out. I did say, after a minute we were talking, and I was going on about how iconic that number 21 issue is, and I think that's the one, right? The Snake Eyes on the cover with the number 21, and I was like, our boy Cletus of Cobra, who also is a dude who stays cooking, he has one. I think he has the first print issue 21 in like a nice frame. He's got some real shit. I don't know if he's posted any or not, so I don't want to divulge any information, but like that dude's got some shit. He's got the definitive Snake Eyes statue. That thing is like 2 feet tall. I don't know if he's showing any of it. Hopefully one day he shows everybody that dude's got some shit. Like off, like that we have, like, I don't know. I know he has shown, like, he's got those Cobra, those 12-inch Desert Cobra the troopers. They're just awesome. That dude's got a lot of awesome shit. He's got a whole customized thing set up where he's got these organizers and everything. It's really, 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 really awesome. But yeah, so Homeboy cracked out all those issues of G.I. Joe, the first two, and then sent me that text like it was the next day or the day after, and he was like, oh, I have like way more. So I was just like, hey, I'll inquire, man. You may wind up having one of the more prolific first print collections of G.I. Joe out there, for all I know. I don't know how rare some of those are to get your hands on. I'm sure there's somebody who has all of them, right? I mean, that's my assumption, that there's at least one person that has one through whatever matters, 1 to 100 at least, or something like that. So yeah, I felt like if you made it this far in the podcast, which I incredibly appreciate, it never went below, or maybe it did, and I just didn't see it, but it's consistently 9 to 12 people, and I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate it. I unfortunately didn't have a lot of time, like I've said 50 times. I didn't have a lot of time to produce a bunch of stuff for it, so I kind of went off the cuff and riffed a lot. Double back. I'm always gonna show stuff from Mo's Mind Creations. I'm always gonna show stuff from Sis 3D Arsenal. My boy Dice Man 3D drops. Sorry, I did it. Dice Man 3D props. I'm always going to be showing stuff from those guys. I thank y'all for not only making it through, when I'm showing sometimes the same thing more than once, which I am going to switch up some stuff here. But, not only do I appreciate you making it through that, I appreciate you guys supporting these dudes who are out here. The designs on these things are insane. There's a lot of thought. I know I couldn't fucking figure this out and design something on the computer that looks as good as this. So I have the utmost appreciation for it, but it just extends beyond that all the way through. The customer service, the quality of the product itself. There's just everything. These are the top-notch dudes, and you should be out there supporting them, and you do, and I love it. I have the Destro Designs is the promo code for basically all of them. Sis 3D Arsenal will get you 10% off. Mo's Mind Creations, it'll get you 5% off. And then over at Dice Man 3D Props, like I said, that deal was, if you go over, you look what he's selling as the set, he's going to ship to you for $50, which is, I think, a pretty good deal. You get the chair, the table, the base, 6 screens, all the stickers for it, bonus stickers. You get a set of speakers, and he is going to send you extra shit. He even said, make sure you mention that if they say your name, they get the deal, and you get some extra shit. He's going to send you some cool stuff. He has done that for me, and so I bet you are going to be thrilled if you order some stuff. Everybody wants that computer stand. These laptops, everybody wants that laptop. Fucking A. So last week, I think, was the first week that I had mentioned our boy Andrew, but he is crushing it out there on the West Coast, and so I want you to go and frequent his stuff too, along with Sis 3D Arsenal and Mo's Mind Creations. And I think that's going to be it, y'all. I think I'm just going to go ahead. I can never just get off. I just can't say, all right, I'll see you guys later. It's always I find something else that I want to talk about or whatever. But 2 hours is a long time for everybody to sit here on a Saturday night. I know this is way past my bedtime. There was a lot of us in the beginning. We were all talking about how old we are and shit like that. So yeah. So I don't know if the comments froze. It looks like, as I can't move it back any further. Oh, nope, there we go. There's a new one. All right, this weekend, Hearthstone, thank you so much. I think you were here for the whole show last week too. I appreciate it. You can have yourself a good night. And yeah, so everybody, you'll see me out in those Twitter streets. I can never be there. Yeah, you made it without passing out for gummies. My man, CG Horror, great job, bro. Hey, it's late, and those gummies, when I get high, that's it. If I sit down, if I wasn't yapping like this the whole time, I can't say that I would be able to make it. I don't know. If I'd be really interested in some of you all doing a podcast, so I think I'd be all right. But no, thank you for making it. Thank you for making it through the whole thing. Everybody knows where I can be reached. Yeah, hey, thank you, Big Red. Thank you so much. I know you've had a crazy long week, brother, so I really appreciate you making it too. You've got to be exhausted. I think you're as old as the rest of us, and you've been through a grueling ordeal this week, so I greatly appreciate it, and all your support, everybody for all your support. I can't thank you enough. There is no this without you guys, right? And it's not just basic retweets. Y'all are my brothers now. We've interacted, in DMs and everything, and it's very enjoyable. It's very great. I love what we've built, this little positive corner of the internet, which is largely a toxic place, right? So I love that we have what we have. I want to keep it that way. I want it to continue to be so, and I think that this is a good meeting place for all of us to kind of get together. I do want to be a weekly thing where we all get together and get to interact in a different way than 140 characters at a time. This is the chat. At least we can go back and forth. I think it's awesome. I really look forward to doing it every week. And so we're fixing your PC. Okay, settings up. Oh, dude, thank you. I appreciate it. CG Horror has been my resident computer guru. He set me up with all of the printing equipment that I have, told me exactly what I needed, and he was correct. Everything I got was top notch and on the money. So thank you. I appreciate that. I'll be able to fuck with that tomorrow because I do want to get it set up. I think we'd have a bigger screen. I can kind of set it up over here. And what I'd like to be able to do too is have it, and then I could use my phone to look up things and do stuff because I ultimately have to get it on the computer so I could do graphics. So when I'm talking about something, boop, you're not just looking at my face and my fucking hands trying to describe something to you. You can, and as much as I love doing that, I think it'd be better if I could just get the picture here. If we're talking about a figure, or I'm like, oh, here's a render reveal, let's talk about it. We can look at the render reveal instead of I'm not lying, I almost thought about printing out a picture of something today and holding it, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. That's insane. So, one last time, thank you all so very much. I greatly appreciate it. You've made it through all of this. That's really awesome. I will see you all in these Twitter streets. And that's it. This is the end. Episode 4, Destro Resigns, live from Viper Den Studios. I will see you all next week. Thank you.